My name is Harley Godwin, and I'm going to be talking to you about constructivism. What is constructivism? A lot of people might say that it's considered brain-friendly teaching. I read an article by Audrey Gray, and she stated constructivist teaching is based on belief that learning occurs as learners are actively involved in a process of meaning and knowledge, as opposed to passively learning knowledge. So that would go like for the traditional classroom, because you're sitting there, we're listening to the teacher talk, and you're trying to take in what she's telling you. But in this constructivism view, you're actively learning. So that would be like the teacher putting students in groups, constantly going around having students do work as she's teaching so that they're being engaged. Like for younger kids, doing activities, learning. For older kids, it would be, I guess you consider like watching a video and you're having to write notes as you go and then pausing and talking about it. Constructivism can go either way for the younger or the older. For my first foundational theorist, I chose Lev Vygotsky. He is known for his sociocultural theory. Its social interaction is the development of cognition. So he states that students learn when they're socially interacting with others. That's why a lot of times when you go into an elementary classroom, you see kids grouped up into fours or in pairs, because they do better when they're with other kids. Also, community plays a central role in the process of meaning making. That's another one of his theories. Social learning precedes development. It goes along again with what I was saying about how students learn better when they're with others and actively learning. The next one I chose is Glassfeld. He states that radical constructivism provides an epistemological theory of knowledge approach to where the cognizing individuals creates meaning and understanding. And the last one is John Piaget. This one pops up a lot in all of our schoolwork, even now. I mean, Piaget is one of the very important theorists in education. He come up with cognitive development, and it's people produce knowledge and form meaning based on experience. So basically, he is for the classroom where kids are constantly doing work and learning as they go. Now, traditional versus constructivism. And I put on here it's passive learning versus active learning, or lecture-based versus activity-based. A lot of traditional classrooms more are in your upper elementary, your high school grades, and your younger classes is when the constructivism, because their activity, they're doing stuff to learn. But honestly, from my point of view, I like doing stuff as I'm learning. It helps me learn. I think that all teachers need to know how to do to implement constructivism in their classroom. All right. Another thing that is different for constructivism than traditional is the curriculum. They use a process approach. And it's basically you still go by your state standards, but you're using engagement in your classroom. So like you're not going to the whiteboard, writing down notes and having your students copying it and giving them a test the next day. Students are viewed in constructivism in the center of everything. It is solely based around them. Constructivism is for the students. Students are how students work. They're constantly actively and engaged, constantly working in groups. And also this is where teachers can develop negotiations between students and everything. So like an example of that would be you have two students come to the board and you have a math problem. Each one of those students may figure out that math problem differently, but there's no right or wrong. As long as they get the answer, it's right, no matter how that they view it in their brain. Like some kids can just pop off numbers, but like others have to count on their fingers. Either way, it works. Be flexible. Teachers need to be flexible with students.